You got me okay?
Yeah. Yep. Well, we're live.
Hey now.
Hello, everybody. John
Hey,
has to reboot.
hey now. Yeah, John's got some audio issues. I don't know if it's his speakers or whatever, but he's getting that squared away as quickly as possible. But we didn't want to delay going live anymore. See, things are filling up pretty quick out there.
Yeah, let's see who's all in here. You got, geez, I got to scroll a long time. Danny Boyd, Turlow's Garage, John Wilbur, Jabo the Almighty, Irish Outlaw Garage. Let's see, Bear Rose, how you doing, man? Keep scrolling. Unfinished project, like always. How you doing, brother? Bikes with Turlow.
I can hear you guys fine now.
Well, John,
Good.
how's it going?
That was the strangest thing. I'm sitting here watching you guys' videos and everything sounds fine, and yet when I let Buzz in, all of a sudden, no sound. It's the strangest thing. So anyway, that just went out of StreamYard and came back, and now we're good. I'll take it.
Reboot
take it.
that baby.
How is everybody today? I see Jabo's in here, Don English, my Aunt Nancy.
Oh, hey.
I was glad you could make it.
Who's your garage?
Got an echo. Do one of you guys have a YouTube browser open?
I do not.
Huh. Okay.
I hear too.
I don't know what that is. I don't actually for once. Usually I'm the worst for that. Bikes with Turlo's SRP. Bear Rose is here. Robert Magny. Mopar Den. Well, Mopar Den's given us permission to get the party started, so we definitely can now.
Oh.
Buck does it. Buck, I was enjoying your channel reviews. I was checking that out yesterday. Good stuff. Unfinished project.
Buck brought 10 new subscribers to the wrench yesterday. The newest channel.
I saw that.
Yeah,
How cool is that?
he's got to be feeling good about that. Both Buck and the wrench.
Mopar Den's asking if my aunt is racing at the No Name Nationals. Well, I'd love for her to. I have her van that she bought new in 1985. If she comes to No Name Nationals, I'll let her take it down the track. We'll make that happen.
Can
Gonna
we
have
play
to lower
chess
the-
in the back of it?
Yeah, right. Shopcat's at 4:30. Shopcat, are you coming? It seems like you want to. I know you're like, it's a long way, but love to see you turn out. Yeah, I don't know what that echo is because I don't have any, like, I've got nothing, shouldn't have anything echoing on my end.
Yeah,
Let me try.
I
Let
got
me try
no
leaving
echo
and
on.
coming back in quick.
There's something. Okay. No, I still hear it. Do you have like a phone browser on or something? I don't know what that is. I don't think it's on your end, Blake.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got no echo. I'm clear.
I think we just got one in the back, dude.
Yeah, it's a weird reverb thing. Anyway, we just like to offer this monthly and see if you guys have any questions, anything you can do that, if you have some challenge with your videos or something you think might help. We've got some serious muscle in the house. We've got Buzz here. We've got him held captive for a while, and we've got Blake here, and it's a good opportunity for you guys, especially you guys that are kind of at that mark where you've got to make faster progress than you've made over the last couple of months. This is a good opportunity to figure out how to do it.
What kind of questions we got in the comments? Anybody following them?
Okay, JB says it's only happening with me, and I'm telling you, I have no idea. I have no YouTube browser open, nothing. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make sure to just kill my mic to minimize it.
Hey, who all saw Dizzy Izzy's Anything It Takes video from yesterday? He was out at the track shilling for subs with a sandwich board. That was classic funny.
I missed everything yesterday. We were on the road all day, going to Mopars in the park.
He was out there, you know, with a handwritten beggar sign, looking for subs, and he did pick a few up, but it kind of it spawned an idea in my head. Man, I'll go ahead and pop that link to the page on my website that's got all the help and the logos and all that good stuff. But I went ahead and I took the liberty of creating a QR code for everybody. Not like it's rocket science. You can do it yourself. But if you hit that link that I just posted, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a QR code for every single channel in the No Name Nationals. There's a couple of ways you can use it. You know, of course, you can print it out. You know, if you've got a printer. If not, you know, if somebody wants or needs a printed version of it, you know, something to stick under the windshield wiper or on the dash of the car kind of thing, with your channel logo and a click to subscribe kind of thing, just shoot me an email at roadkillcustoms@gmail.com. Be happy to put together a little window card for you, you know, postcard style. Exactly, yeah, there's a bazillion of them there. But you know, if somebody doesn't have a printer and they want a printed copy, just shoot me an email. Be happy to print it out with your logo and make you up a window card and mail it out to you. But you can also just, you know, if you right click or press and hold and save that image to your phone, you can also just, someone else can scan that right off of your phone. The beauty of it is it bypasses the searching, you know, especially for like my next project and unfinished projects and some of those channels that are difficult to find the right channel in the search. This circumvents all that. And again, if you've got that image on your phone, you can just hold that up. Somebody else can scan it right off your screen, and it takes them right to your channel. There's a subscribe button right there, dead center in the screen. So if you're going out to these cruise-ins or hitting the racetrack or doing whatever you're doing, there's a quick and easy way to get someone to your channel. By the way, while I'm talking about mailing things out, I resurrected my long since banned from Facebook decal in tribute of the last 3 weeks of Wonderments. Man, anybody wants a pair of these decals? Again, shoot me an address. If I've already got your address for the No Name 500, just let me know you want one. But these are the the Windwing. You know, man, I got thousands of them. Anybody wants a pair of those? No charge. Just let me know you want some. If I've got your address, great. I'll shoot them out. You know, obviously it's just a regular letter stamp. But be happy to get a pair of those out to you. Those were actually created years ago when we were taking, you know, our rat rods and beaters to, you know, the white New Balance shows, and you know, and everybody was getting down on us, and that's where those things got created.
Don't be a Richard.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
he has a good question about background music. So he's talking about background music performed by a friend so that you wouldn't get a copyright strike. Understand, but I kind of have a different part of that question I'm wondering about. What are your opinions on music in general in your videos?
I love it.
Yeah, in some cases it's completely appropriate, like over, you know, the time lapse stuff, for example. Um, you know, other than that, you know, keep the audio as clear as you can to keep your voice as clear as you can. But, you know, dubbing some tunes over the time lapse, I think in many cases, well, hell, in all cases, I think it makes sense.
What about people that have the background music and they're talking? So there's background music just the whole time while they're talking. I have a hard time hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle to hear that too, and honestly, audio, it's right up there importance wise with the video. I mean, that may sound obvious, but when someone is struggling to hear what you're saying, um, it causes people to bail pretty quickly, and that includes things like tool sounds, grinding noise, and that kind of stuff. Um, a lot of times, the only microphone that a lot of these guys are using is whatever's equipped with their camera. There's some really, really good, inexpensive options on Amazon. In the $20 to $40 range for a remote clip-on mic, kind of the thing you see Jeff with Two Hacks using all the time. Um, those kinds of things make a really big difference because with Two Hacks you can always, he's got a good strong voice anyway, but the mic's always really close to his speech, so even if there is background noise, it's just that, it's background noise, but his audio and what he's saying is nice and crisp and clear.
Mm-hmm. Unless you have a GoPro, then you got to spend like $300
Yeah.
to get a lapel mic to work with it. So
Yeah.
like with your smartphone, if you got a 3.5 millimeter aux port, you can walk over to Walmart, Target, whatever, and they got pretty cheap lapel mics for about, like what you said, $10. And that works. It might not jive with the equipment that you have, but if you're using a phone, it should.
Yeah, the finding one for the phone's very easy. Like I said, don't even got to go to Amazon, Walmart, Target, either way.
I found out about 3 months into producing video that one of the best things I ever did was get a $20 lapel mic that plugs into my phone. And everybody I know who does that, like Barrows just said, they're like, oh, wow, I can't believe I wasn't doing this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did a video one time in front of a Coca-Cola freezer. And we're sitting at a table and the freezer's behind me. And there might as well have been a cement mixer running. It just ruined all of the audio. And I could not believe the difference that little microphone just fixed it all. You couldn't even hear the freezer because it picked up our voices. And I'm telling you, that is some, I don't advocate spending money foolishly or flippantly or big technology investments and stuff. For you guys that film with your phone, that $20 lapel mic with a 16-foot cord is worth every penny.
Yeah.
The wireless ones are expensive. You usually have two kinds of batteries. They're not very forgiving. You got to pair them. And there are things wireless works okay for, but honestly, that cheap lapel mic will do wonders for your videos.
Yeah.
I think you could spend, I think it's DJI, the drone company, makes a wireless mic that comes with two fobs. And they got a 3.5 millimeter jack in it. You can actually clip the actual wireless unit right on your shirt, and it sounds fine, but then you got the little cat's tail you can plug into it with a cord and hide everything. I think they got 100 yards of range.
Wow.
Which is pretty good anymore.
Yeah.
And who the hell needs to be 100 yards away from the camera talking?
Exactly.
So if you want to spend the money, there's options out there for that too.
FYI, if you do get one of the plug-in lapel mics, in my experience, you need to unplug it to watch your video back. I'll usually try to play back my video before I take the camera off a tripod or anything in case I need to reshoot something. But if I forget to unplug that, I can't hear it back. So it took me probably 30 minutes to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're on that, a tripod, I mean, again, it might sound so obvious, but it's like having another person there.
Yes.
All of a sudden, you can move around. You've got two hands again. Some people, my wife is an example. If it's the Blair Witch Project kind of filming, her head starts to spin and she just can't watch it. Yeah. And a tripod, so again, obviously it solves that problem, but it's like having a camera person there. And some of the ones, especially for the smartphones, they've just got the squeeze clip, if you will, for lack of a better term, that holds the phone on a really simple, inexpensive, doesn't have to be a big dollar tripod. You can spend quite a bit of money if you want to, but you don't need to. Anything that'll stabilize the camera, whether it's on a bench, on the ground. You can also, playing around with those kinds of things, get some different and interesting angles. Setting while you're standing working in a engine compartment, for example, you could have that tripod up on the fender. You could have it down on the ground, filming up from the bottom. I mean, it kind of opens up some other options for you that just add a little bit more interest.
Here's a link for a $12 tool that we use. It's on eBay. It's a magnet on a telescoping stick. And this magnet grabs hard. It'll pick up all the tools around you. But sometimes you can't get a tripod into the area that you want to get a good close-up shot.
Oh,
if you're
that's
working
sweet.
underneath the hood, you can put the magnet on the hood. Like most cameras can film inverted. It'll flip the screen for you so you can stick it wherever you want on the firewall, get really good shot. And it's only $12, that link that I just posted there. So
That's a
that's
super
what we've been
deal.
using.
Gentlemen, two things. One, I'm going to drop off of here just to see if it cures that echo. I don't have a clue what it could be. I have nothing else open. But on tripods, they're actually a little more valuable than most people realize. They do several things. One, they hold your camera so they can be in a place that another person would have to be. Two, they keep you from getting a finger over the lens, which is so much easier to do than most people realize. I mean, you can have a video in the edit bay and not even realize your finger was just barely over the lens until you say, what is that haze in the sky? And it's your fingertip. There are several things tripods help you do. They help you get action shots, and they'll do more than you realize till you really get to working with them. But I'm going to drop off of here just to see if it cures that echo.
Right on.
Guys, let me know. And I'll just stay in the chat if it does. Please let me know.
You'll have to forgive me, Buzz, if I'm not as amped as usual. The kids were sick this weekend, and this morning I woke up and not feeling it today. I slept all day.
It rolls around for sure. Looks like you had a pretty successful day at the swap meet, though, yesterday. Found some fenders and some other little hardware parts and that kind of stuff. Looked like a pretty successful mission.
Yeah, it was a good time. We found a lot of stuff that was an inch too big or 3 inches too short, as far as tires go. That was our big mission, was finding some drag radials while we were there.
Yeah.
Everything was just too damn big, for tubbed out cars. So.
Yep.
But we found some hard to get stuff like if you're a Mopar guy and you're looking for lenses, dome lights, Royce from megaparts.com. He repumps everything.
Thumper is saying that the echo's on me. Yeah, I got no browser windows open.
Do you have a headset?
I got a headset, yeah.
But yeah, there's some really great shows out there. I think that might have done it.
Does that improve things?
Yes. I don't hear myself anymore.
Do you guys hear any reverb from me?
No.
No.
I'm not hearing it either.
It was your fault all along, Buzz. Come.
Look at that.
That bastard!
Thumper would figure that out.
Right on.
Nope.
Hey, thanks, Thumper.
Thumper knows how to power a Pontiac off of corn. You should know he would know something about audio.
Guilty as charged.
Nah, this is fun. I'm glad you all are here. We didn't really have any particular agenda today, but there's so much opportunity here to try to get tips from some seasoned guys here. Buzz knows his stuff, and now that we've had Buzz on board for a few months, we're starting to see that, because the guys who've taken his advice, you can actually look at their analytics and you can see a definite change in their videos being picked up and in their subscribers and in their views. And I've liked Blake's production work for years, and he's the guy that can figure out how to do these things. When you say, "How do I do that?" He's that guy. And he's real creative. He's one of those creative people I know. So I just feel tickled to death to be able to corral both of these guys for you at least once a month.
Me and Jeremy were talking about it yesterday, and when we first started, we try doing things like movie magic, we called it. So, and that'd cause like your project to be about half an hour to an hour longer just by setting up shots. But we used to do a lot more of it. So, for instance, Jeremy would be standing in front of the dart and he'd give the intro, like, here's what we're doing today. We're going to be working on the dart. We're going to be changing an intake or something. And he's standing in front of the car, and I have him snap his fingers. I tell him, hold still. Then I go run over there. I pop the hood. And then in the power of editing, it looks like he snapped his fingers and the hood pops up. It's just the little tiny tricks that we used to do that I think we got so much going on, we don't do it anymore. But I'd like to get back into it.
I actually reduced the amount of editing I did. I used to edit a podcast, a local small business podcast, 16 episodes of it. And I really did a lot of high production quality stuff. And it looked really nice. It's very professional. But what I found is that stuff will burn you up. And so for the YouTube content creator who wants to build an audience and get an audience, especially one from zero, people have to find out who you are and keep coming back to your channel. That stuff will wear you out. And so now I've gone completely the other end. I'm shooting everything off of this phone with a $20 mic and a tripod, and that's virtually it. And it's a better deal for me.
And if you get too fancy with trying to do stuff, you take a 20, 30-minute video that you're making, and it takes 12 hours to edit it.
Yeah.
And I've sat in front of this damn computer for a long time in my life so far, it seems like.
I want to throw something out there real quick, too, just before I forget. On Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday, on Uncle Tony's Garage, on his regular Wednesday night tech talk that he does each week with he and Dallas, is going to be a special episode. It's going to be he, Dallas, the Junkyard Jet guys, Al, and I, and we're going to be reviewing No Name 500 channels. And we're going to prioritize from the folks who need the most subs to the folks who need the least subs. So if you have 300 or 400 subs or more, we may not even get to your channel because you're rolling and you're obviously going to cross the finish line handily. We're definitely going to start from the guys you're in the 40s, 50s, 60s and work our way, into the higher sub counts. But we really want to focus on people who have posted content in the last month or more recently. So what I would say is if you're watching this and you need subscribers and you haven't posted content in a while, just evaluate. Do you want us to do it? And also, if you have something that you want us to review, let me know. We just want to we have a good size audience on Uncle Tony's Garage on Wednesday nights. A lot of people watching. Might be people who haven't heard of your channel. This is an opportunity to put your best foot forward.
That is a phenomenal opportunity. Seize the day, as they say.
You've got a 242,000 subscriber channel, a 4,000 subscriber channel, a 3,500 subscriber channel, a 2,000 subscriber channel, and another 2,000 subscriber channel, all in one place to try to get your content to an audience that you may not have. So this is the time. If you got something cool you're working on, you may want to try to get it out in the next day or two.
Hey, Buck Does It asked a question in the comments. I sent a brief answer. He was asking about promoting his channel on his Facebook profile or creating a page. Absolutely there's two opportunities on Facebook. One is pages, another is groups. You can do one or the other, or in a perfect world, both. But absolutely, if you're promoting a channel, or any venture a page absolutely is the better way to do it, above a profile. Profile is absolutely geared towards an individual human being, which of course you are, but there's some features and some things that really make the page make more sense. A page, once you've got a page established, that page can create a group. So you can kind of stack it. But groups, whether it's your group or someone else's group, is one of the top places to attempt to grow your YouTube channel, simply because it's not unlike hashtags. If you're working on Mopars, tag your stuff Mopar. One of the things on YouTube is they want to see viewership. They want viewers to be viewing and to continue viewing. And tags has a lot to do with that. You're not always going to be successive in terms of somebody watching video after video after video of yours via tags, but you absolutely run the risk of, when somebody's out there watching Mopar stuff and your stuff is tagged to Mopar, that your stuff comes up in the mix and the recommendations. The real key there is the tag Mopar. All of the things that are tagged Mopar, theoretically, if people have been correctly tagging their stuff, it's all going to be of interest to a Mopar guy. Same thing with groups on Facebook. Go find, if you're a Mopar guy, go find yourself a Mopar group, which it kind of gets you around the algorithm on Facebook. If you post something from a personal profile and it's Mopar related, virtually nobody's going to see it. If you post that to a Mopar group where everybody is interested in Mopar, the reach that you get and the engagement that you get is it's vastly bigger.
I found that making a short video specifically for Facebook versus just posting a YouTube link, like,
yes,
if you have a Plymouth Duster, you can go on the Duster forums, A-Bodies Only, Mopar Projects, and post that out. Whenever I'd post a YouTube link, it's like a couple likes, maybe a couple clicks.
yeah,
But if it's ready to hit play as a Facebook video there, and you put, like what you told me a couple weeks ago, your link to your YouTube channel for your longer, bigger video, then I notice actually it's like, oh, I picked up, it's not a lot, 6 subscribers from doing that in the course of 48 hours.
yeah.
Those are 6 subscribers that you would have never got.
Exactly. And yeah, when you post a YouTube link directly as the content on Facebook, it will not do well, because Facebook does know they've basically lost that viewer. That viewer is going to go from Facebook and they're going to go hang out on YouTube for a while. They don't want that. And what Blake just said, a short little snippet, 15, 30 seconds, a little teaser, if you will, that is native to Facebook. When it's a native Facebook video, Facebook will actually not only let it hang there, they will promote it in the listings. And pop in the see the rest of the video on my YouTube channel, or the direct link to the full length video is a great way to do it. Another way to approach the groups is do it over the series of several days. Get people all frothed up about your project. Post an image, a photo with a sentence or two. The following day, show a little bit more progress. The following day, pop a short video up there. Again, native to Facebook, with a link to the full length video on YouTube. You'll do quite nicely for yourself, especially with some of the bigger groups. And the ones, go ahead, John.
I was going to say a couple of these I want to grab while they're spooling by.
Shoot.
SRP said, so this is all about making videos like what you see on television. Actually, no. Television, if you've noticed over the last few years, has been trying to conform to more what we're doing. It's been trying to, the trend has been going to authentic video. What we want to do is just try to make that as watchable as possible. Like, I would much rather watch what Blake and Jabo and Jeremy are doing in their garage than anything on some network. Okay. But those guys want to make sure that there's not fingers over the lenses, want to make sure their tripod's good, make sure you can hear them and get the most out of what they're trying to deliver you. So no,
The takeaway is watchability.
yes,
You know, it's not special effects and sound effects and all kinds of crazy
correct.
transitions. Hey, you can grow into those things without a doubt, and you could add a little splash or dazzle here and there. But, you know, a tripod and a decent mic keeps the video still and the audio good. Watchable. You know,
Find
people
a
aren't struggling to listen.
find a channel that really gets you immersed in what they're doing, where you're watching it, you didn't even realize it was a 20-minute video, and watch and try to learn from whoever's making that content. Kind of, it's hard to watch anything without noticing, oh, they did that. I should try that. You know,
You know, one thing that this reminds me of is if you guys, and a lot of you, I'm sure, and most of you in this chat are really familiar with Uncle Tony's Garage. Tony has a commitment to keep his editing and that kind of stuff to an absolute minimum.
Mhm.
Okay. But what he also does is if you notice, everything's clear, everything you can hear it, everything's lit, everything's stable. They do close-ups when they need to. And so you may not have even realized how watchable his content is because he does that stuff. But there's also none of the over-processed anything to it. That fine balance that people don't even notice is a big part of why his channel's so successful.
Yeah, agreed.
318 Will Run says he does very little editing anymore. I think a lot of us start out saying just because we can do it, we should do it, or we want to do it. And most all of us are capable of doing more effects and more special stuff. And when we realize that's not what we should be doing, because Turlo says my videos are about 1 to 1.5 hours to make per minute of video. That will burn somebody down. I could not. Yeah.
I'm with you, Turlo.
Those podcasts are just like that. And Red
Well,
Eye
you know,
Patriot,
if you're more of a kind of a techie, like if I watch a 318 Will Run video, I'm going to be learning something, right? It seems like, or he's going to be approaching you with the good gas mileage 318 idea. You know, those things, the less editing in it, probably the better, right? Getting your point across, keeping the viewer engaged. But if you're more of an entertainment channel, like look at Duddy's Adventures, I'd like to call him a entertainment channel. You're kind of going there to laugh, right? Is he going to hurt himself today? You know, he jump cuts all over, and it's just great. So if you're going for entertainment, I think editing a little bit stronger. If you're going for tech, the less. It's who your audience is going to be. You know, I don't know. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'd agree with that wholeheartedly.
but see, he shows you that there's not one size fits all, but you have to be good at what you do. So a channel that's tech oriented can do really well and get a lot of subscribers if they do that well. Duddy, on the other hand, is very engaging. His channel's taken off. Probably within the next few weeks, he'll pass me in subscribers, and he deserves all of it because his channel's great. He's great, but you got to find what you're good at. And
he just bought a GoPro a couple
Present
months ago.
yeah,
You know, his camera phone had fallen off the bar stool so many times that it kept laying in the gravel and it cracked the lens on it. And you can't replace the lens on your phone, right? So if you're doing a lot of grinding and welding, you're kind of screwing yourself. Whereas a GoPro Hero 9, you can go on Amazon and pick up a pack of lenses for like $3 for $15. You can get really close angles of grinding and welding. Pop that lens off, throw it.
DRC saying those big channels pay people to edit for them. Well, which big channels necessarily? Because I know that Kathy does all the editing for Uncle Tony's Garage. And I heard on a video a little while back that Whistling Diesel does his own editing.
Whistling Diesel, Cletus McFarland, they all do their own editing.
Yeah.
Like the Diesel brothers that came off of Discovery, I really doubt they edit their own video. You know, they're in front of the camera, personalities. But there's a lot of people that started from ground zero on YouTube that still today edit their own video. You see a lot of guys that come from TV. I don't know if Tony Angelo, I think he might edit his own videos, and Mike Finnegan, I think him and his buddies, they edit their own stuff. Maybe I think they're starting to outsource a little bit, but yeah, you're gonna do it for the rest of your life on YouTube, buddy.
One thing I will mention, because I believe it was Red Eye Patriot hit on it. You know, so between between some of these channels, how many of them do you realize edit everything on a phone? Just Mopar Joe edits everything on an iPhone.
I don't know how.
I don't either, but he does. And Unity Motorsports Garage, Andy, have you seen some of the stuff he does with his phone? It's not an iPhone, but I don't know what it is. Andy does everything on a phone. Look at his driveway built masterpiece video that Tony posts from Uncle Tony's Garage, the one that put him on the map. Look at that and say, if he can do that with a phone, having expensive software and tricks is not what's holding me back, because it is not. Now, I'm not talented enough to get on a screen this size and produce video. I wish I was, but it can be done, obviously.
Ruben's right. Personal enjoyment, too, of your own self. If you want to edit or not edit, it's up to you. You're doing it, you're starting YouTube because you enjoy it, right? Or it should be something that you enjoy. Maybe. No.
This is... Hey, Red Eye Patriot, in regards to this, please remind me when you register. I have a question I want to ask you about that anyway. And Max Wedge sent a super chat. Thanks a bunch. I appreciate it. Max Wedge, Dick Dastardly, Rich Rusnick, Nostalgia Superstock. Acid or marine battery? Tired of taking a generator. Marine takes longer to charge. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I've had really good luck with marine batteries over the years.
They're heavy duty.
Thumper might
You got to
have a
run
good
them all the way
answer to
down
that.
dead.
That's a good Thumper question, but I've just never had a problem out of marine. It just seemed like it's hard to go wrong with them.
A marine, it's a heavy duty cycle battery, so they can run all the way flat. You can run them all day, and then you can basically deplete them, and they'll take back to life once you charge them.
Not to digress too far from what we're doing with content in general, but I plan to put a marine battery back in my race car because taking it to its nostalgic roots, it did not run an alternator. Most cars like that today would have an alternator, but I want to run it like it did in the day, and it didn't have one. So to make it authentic, I'm going to put a marine battery in it. So when we get there, that'll be another test. It'll just be in the future.
Dutch Guy's Garage is talking about 5 SD cards. I got about 40 of them in here that I kept buying new ones. I didn't know at times that you could just wipe them, right? So I kept spending $20 every couple.
This is actually a good topic in itself, because I know Blake has a pile of SD cards. Dutch Guy has a pile of SD cards. I do everything on the iPhone, and I don't know why it's not just sitting on my desk. I have this little J-shaped thing. It's got a USB port on one end, and it's got the lightning on the other. And so you can plug it into your phone, and you can download 32 or 64 gigs onto it. It's just a thumb drive size deal, but it's J-shaped so that it has lightning and USB. Download it off your phone. You can stick it right into your computer. And then I put it on a 5 terabyte external just so it doesn't clog up the hard drive on the computer. But I do that each outing of videos so that I can have plenty of capacity on my phone. But that's another way to do it. And it keeps from having the SD card thing going on. But it would only work if you shoot with a phone.
I've had a problem with totally losing episodes with 128 gig SD cards versus 64 gig. I don't know if they're trying to cram too much data inside of the same amount of space where they bug out. But every 128 gig SD card, after about a couple episodes on it, I go to plug it into my editor and be like, oh, I guess I don't have a video today.
Ugh.
And it corrupts and crashes.
Real quick, we'll get to Mr. Will's question, but I do want to give a shout out to BCCOA, Bullet at BCCOA. He did post publicly, so I guess I could say he just lost his father a few days ago. And, our condolences. And
Sorry,
I will say this, at least for me, the staying busy with YouTube, I found helpful. So anyway, the community's here for you regardless, whether you're taking time off or engaged or whatever, but our condolences.
Thinking good thoughts for you, Bullet.
But I do want to get Mr. Wilson. It's always a question we always get. And I'll start because I probably have the least to say. You got two techie pros here. I use Filmora. Wondershare Filmora. It's $60 for a lifetime license, and it does more than I'll ever know how to do, and it's real user friendly. So the old Windows Movie Maker, where you used to have and I'll try to do it, you used to have it laid out like this with all the lines of video, and they tried to go to a more modern Windows Movie Maker, and it didn't work very well. Well, this Wondershare they make a product called Filmora. That works really. It's everything that the new Windows Movie Maker should have been.
Did you download the new update?
It's easy.
I think by the time I got it, I think you must have had it before me. It was about $80 at that
Yeah.
point. And it's a lifetime membership, and you get all their free support add-ons. They just came out with I think like a 6 gigabyte update for it, where you get all kinds of pre-stock GIFs, music, background scenes for green screen. We've been trying to do some green screen stuff lately, like our teleportation fridge, sending stuff out to Duddy. It really helps, and I think for $80, just every time you go to the gas station, don't buy that coffee for about the next 20 trips for that energy drink.
That's a really good way to put it. And Filmora Wondershare, that would have been my recommendation as well. There are a whole lot of very successful channels using that as their number one tool, because the investment is completely reasonable. They update it, they add features to it.
Paid features are always going to end up being free features down the road. So you can pay extra monthly on top of it, like an extra monthly subscription, and get the pro package. But let's be honest, I'm not ready for that.
The base Filmora will do more than I ever will know how to do. And I'll say you could make a legit big screen movie with Filmora.
It used to be in Hollywood in like 08. The Hollywood studios were using Filmora.
So Smacky's talked about iMovie. I know our friend Just Mopar Joe uses iMovie, and very successfully. His stuff looks really good. Let me ask you, since we're a good ways into this, I'm going to put the link up. If any of you guys want to get on here to talk content creation, we'd like to have you in.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to wait till we got a good crowd. So I'm going to post the link. And if any of you guys want to jump in, you're welcome.
Yeah, hop in and ask questions. It's better.
Yeah, we just want to try to keep things moving in the direction of content creation type of discussion. But you guys are welcome.
J-Bo, I gave him the camera the other day. He made a valve spring compression video for a lawnmower. How to do it with zip ties. You can leave the valves inside the head without taking the head off.
Nice, I like it.
He doesn't show anything else about it, but just how to do the valve springs. A little 5-minute video. I think I'm going to post that tonight.
Now, this is worth mentioning here. So Muscle City Madness, he has a pretty good production value on his channel. If you watch it, Ruben is good with that. He uses Shotcut. So if you want to explore that, he would be the one to ask. He's the only guy I know who uses it, but his stuff looks good. His production is good. So he'd be the one to ask.
Mopar Dunn is right. With the $10 super chat, Mopar Dunn coming in.
Thank you, Mopar Dunn.
It does have really good audio library. If you're looking for music that's non-copyrighted, YouTube has stuff going all the way back to, I think, 2017 they've been posting on there. So you got to scroll through a lot to find a good little nugget. But I like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia music. I like using that a lot. Because that was made in 1920s before copyright laws. So there's a lot of stuff from a long time ago. That's good.
Thanks a bunch, Mopar Dunn. I really appreciate that. We're going to bring in Smacky's Garage. How's it going?
Hey.
Thank you.
Got the tripod going on right behind him.
I do. A lot of the stuff that they sell on Amazon Basics is really cheap and it's really good.
I totally agree.
And that's pretty key too. The Amazon Basics, their stuff, it's totally usable. And it'll save you several bucks. Don't be afraid. Another hot tip: electronics, whether it's computers, the computer I'm using right now, and I make my living on a computer these days. I only buy refurb and or open box. You might be thinking that's a little bit of a risk, but I mean, I've bought all my camera gear, any electronics I've ever bought on Amazon, because you can save a significant amount of money. It's returnable if it is. Generally speaking, it's well, all the stuff that I've ever bought that's called open box stuff, man, you struggle to figure out how the freaking box was opened. In most cases, they'll say, there's I bought a monitor just a couple of weeks ago, the monitor I'm using right now. Man, it was $140 off. I got the monitor for $110. I couldn't believe it. 32-inch monitor. They claimed there's a scratch on it somewhere. I can't find it for the life of me. So look at some of those. If you're looking at a listing, see if there's any also available from stuff. Again, my luck with that has been fantastic. Hopefully yours would be the same.
I don't know how your guys' local pawn shops are, but we've taken things that we don't use anymore, and just go to the pawn shop and basically trade it in, look for any camera equipment that they have, audio equipment, tripods. I got a 40-pound tripod that's got stakes on the feet for shoving into the grass if you're at the track and it won't blow over.
Heck yeah.
I picked that up for $15. I looked it up online. It was like a $180 tripod.
Nice.
I mean, go to your pawn shops and look what crackheads.
That's a hot tip.
I'd like to ask Smacky. So you are the odd man out using iMovie. It's probably, what would you say, maybe a third of creators use it?
So I use Final Cut. It's the next level up from iMovie.
Okay.
If you say you're a student, you can get a huge package of software for Mac for about $300, and it covers, I think, their animation studio, their video editor, and a bunch of other packages that come with it. So I'm only using Final Cut right now.
Okay. All right. That's your go-to, right?
It is. Yep.
Okay. We've got a lot of different guys using different stuff. So if any of you there need help with what you particularly have, I think I now know at least one person who's using whatever it is you want to use to refer you to. So that's they call that a directory.
My first 3 videos were on the whatever came with the Windows 10,
Yep.
And as soon I was done with that 3rd video, I'm like, I need to get something different. I can't stand this. But I didn't know what I was doing either at the time. So
yeah, I've also used DaVinci Resolve, which is completely free. It's more complex, but you don't need to pay to use it.
Mm-hmm. Duddy uses DaVinci. He said he's finally getting to the point of trying to unlock some of the other things in it to up his editing game, and that's where he's hitting the paywall.
Yeah.
So, but you can do it. I mean, there's tons of stuff out there. Like I always say, there's 50 ways to skin a cat. How does it work for you? What's the easiest way to skin the cat for you? You'll find it.
Yeah.
SRP comes in with I have a tripod. He's 10 years old.
Yeah.
and that too is a super option, especially if you some of the things these kids can do and the understanding they have blows my mind. But getting them involved, there's a huge crowd out there that love to see the quote unquote father son, mother daughter, that kind of stuff, passing stuff down to the next generation kind of thing. But getting them involved, Dalton has found fantastic success with. He didn't do it for any other reason than, man, his kid likes cars. He's 11 years old. But some of the comments he gets when his son shows up in those videos, man, people eat that stuff up. Man, get your kids out there, get them to hold a camera and get involved, and it makes stuff real. It's super relatable.
Also on the topic of subscribers in general, I tally the subscribers for all 38 channels running currently the No Name 500. So we have 38 channels, 20 have taken the checkered flag. I tally their subscriber numbers every other day, and I send them to Dallas and Buzz. And so I notice any trends in subscribers, and I'm noticing overall the trend has shifted up for everyone, because more people than ever are interested in the No Name 500 through the community at large. So let's say that you say that if you look at where you were in January, and you look at where you need to be in September and you say, I'm not on pace, actually you may be, because the pace for everybody has scaled up a little bit. So now is the time to pour some gas on the fire and take advantage of that. When I watch a channel that, it's, for instance, let's see, Buck, who was it? Let's see, Buck got Irish Outlaw, was it? Who was it got about 15 subs
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'll be right
one
back.
day? Buzz, who was that got about 15 subs at one shot from Buck?
The Wrench, our
The
newest,
Wrench. It was the Wrench. That's
our
right.
newest contender. Yeah.
That's right. So the Wrench goes from 65 to 80. That's huge. And he got it from a channel that has, what do you have, Buck, 127? That's amazing. That's real. That's an amazing network. So if we see that going on, just think about how that's going to scale up over the summer. Now is definitely the time to pour it on, because the stats are telling me that it's going to surprise some people just how many subs are there for the taking over the next couple of months.
There were some comments not long ago from others, talking about, hey, there's the No Name National community is only so big. And while there's a little bit of truth to that, it is only so big, and you can only subscribe to a channel once. The other thing that actually helps, I would argue, in many cases, more than subs, watchability and view time will get you more love with the algorithm. It's the community. Once they've subscribed, it's your job's not over. I spend so much time just watching to the full end of videos, liking and commenting, because when those things happen, whether you're resubscribing or already subscribed, if you're watching people's stuff and participating, liking, even disliking, it doesn't hurt the video. It tells YouTube that person doesn't want to see something along those lines in the future, but it doesn't hurt your video. So if you get a dislike, don't sweat it, because it's an engagement, it's an interaction. And again, it's just fine tuning what YouTube is putting out there in terms of recommendations and search suggestions and things along those lines. But again, it's the interacting with all these other channels and giving them the watch time, giving them the comments, giving them the likes. It's super, super valuable to the receiving creator.
Yes.
I see Mr. Will. He got 20 subscribers, new subscribers in the last 2 weeks. Buck, I remember just seeing him at 127, is now at 135. And Dizzy Izzy, I know, was at 172, and he was at 186 this morning. Everybody who's making the effort is getting subs at a much higher rate than they were in, say, February and March and April. So it seems like the subscribers are coming at a higher rate for the same efforts, and part of that is because there are more people watching you now than ever, and part of it's because you guys are getting better at what you're putting out. It's
Without
a twofold thing.
Yeah. And
look
I'd
at
have to
Dude
say,
Mopar. Yeah.
Coming at 200 more subs. Yeah, the more subs over time, you'll start out only getting 1 or 2 subs a day, but the more you get, it just starts rolling more and more on top of it.
Snowball.
So it just starts snowballing. More people start watching, and then it just grows exponentially as you progress. So even though I was pretty down when I first started doing it and watching subs fall off, but over time they just start going up and up, and it just starts exponentially climbing.
It happens.
Dutch Guys is going live at 8:20 tonight. If you want to hang out with Dustin Dutch Guys Garage, they'll
Right
be
on.
live a little bit later.
Hey, I'll hit one more time for the people that are came in after that first quarter of what we've done so far. Dizzy Izzy went out to the track and literally was begging for subscribers in the most wonderful way. If you haven't caught his video, go look at it. It's about a minute and a half. Really good stuff.
Yes.
But again, that kind of caused me to come up with, a QR code for every single one of the No Name 500 channels, whether you've already made 500 or not. If you were ever part of the No Name 500, man, I'll pop that link one more time. It's the Roadkill, that No Name 500 help page. You can get graphics, but there's a QR code. They're alphabetical. Just go through there, either right mouse click or press and hold to save it to your own system. And when you're out at a cruise-in or at the drag strip doing a test and tune, and there's other car people around, it's the easiest, fastest way to get somebody to your channel in a hurry. If you save that QR code on your phone, somebody can scan it off of your phone with their phone, and it circumvents all of that, having to search for the channel and is this the right channel, especially for the guys, like Unfinished Project and My Next Project, those channels that have a hard time showing up in the search. Here's a great way to get around that. Just hit that page, scroll down to the bottom. They're alphabetical. Anybody that you can use it right off your phone, but if anybody wants a printed version of that, shoot me an email, roadkillcustoms@gmail.com. I'll print it out with your channel logo and the appropriate text, scan with smartphone to subscribe, and basically produce you, a window card, if you will. But if anybody doesn't have a printer and would like something like that, email me at roadkillcustoms@gmail.com. I'll happily print it out and mail it to you for nothing.
You'll have to show me how to make one, Buzz.
It isn't rocket science. Google QR code generator. There's a bunch of them out there. The one that I prefer is called the QR-code-generator.com. It'll be the second or third option if you Google QR code generator. And you can, any URL, if you've got, it can go to your main channel page. You can do it to specific videos. It's free. They're super handy though, especially if you're in a crowd of people and, you don't want to have to, explain spelling and that kind of stuff. Just scan here and it takes right to the channel.
I go to Vistaprint also and get business cards made for the channel. And if I go to a car show or anything, which is same as the QR code, but for the old guy, I'll leave a fistful of them in the windshield wiper.
Yep.
But if it rains, it sucks. But if you got a QR code, it's always on your car. It doesn't matter if it's rain or sunshine, and most everybody's got a smartphone anymore, except for J-Bo, who's never had a cell phone. They can just go up there and scan it. It takes you directly to your YouTube channel. It's pretty cool.
Buck is asking about the QR code on a business card. What are your thoughts on that, Buzz?
Absolutely. Remember who your audience is in the automotive industry. The largest group is 45 to 65. Those guys, me included, love business cards. Here I am from my last outing. Man, I love business cards. It feels like something, but you can absolutely pop it right on a business card. Blake mentioned Vistaprint. I use PS Print. Essentially, they're the same thing. But yeah, you can get very inexpensive business cards made. Those QR codes, when you see them, they look relatively small on the screen. But those, when you download the full-size file, it is a print quality QR code. So you absolutely, business cards, something not unlike, your channel name, brief, adventures, Mopar, DIY, whatever, some keywords about what your channel's about, and the QR code will get you a bunch of mileage at the cruise-ins and that kind of stuff. I mean, some of the early guerrilla marketing stuff I was doing to promote Roadkill was business cards, and popping those on every driver's seat at every single cruise-in, and that stuff works. QR code these days will make it work even better as far as what's trying to be accomplished here. So absolutely.
Another thing is, I have a sticker guy or a decal guy who makes our Look, like John's got one back there that's made out of body wrap material. That's 12-year UV vinyl. And we get them at a pretty good price. But before I knew anything about that, yep,
His guy does good work. I'm just giving a shout out to Ben Schultz. He does good work.
he does do good work. That's a small mom and pop deal. They got full-time jobs too, so it might take a little bit longer than going like Teesprings, but hey, it's not in China.
Yeah, he makes koozies. He makes koozies also.
Yep.
I had the koozie
So
too.
if you don't have a contact or anything, there's a company called Sticker Mule that I think I just had some oval 3-inch stickers that said BTP, soak 'em in second, was kind of our catchphrase that we were trying to go with at first. And I think I got 50 stickers for $30. That's under $1 a piece, and that seemed like a good investment to me. So when I go to car shows or the drag strip, and somebody, we were talking to them, reach in my pocket, give them a sticker. They like you say, tangible things, make them feel like they're kind of connected to something. And especially if it says your YouTube channel on it. Same thing as a business card that sticks on their garage wall or toolbox. There's nothing wrong with sharing stickers out there.
No, there's
And-
not.
And if you do get hooked up with Sticker Mule, we still use them for silly stuff like plexiglass face danglers from your rear window or buttons for your hats. You can get 50 buttons for $30. And they'll send you an email weekly, promotional deals, window clings, stickers, all kinds of stuff. Check out Sticker Mule.
I know quite a few that have gotten some neat stuff at a fair deal through Sticker Mule. It's no brainer.
Mhm.
Great recommendation, Blake.
And they're out of New
I
York.
highly encourage you guys to give out stickers and promote your channels and do whatever you want to do to promote your channels. It's highly encouraged.
I actually have a lightning storm going on right now, and I had to make sure my surge protectors were all on, so we're good to go.
Another thing that with these ones don't necessarily have cue cards, but it's the logo because everything, all the social media stuff it's Roadkill Customs. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. But every time I go to the auto parts store, I take a half a dozen, and because auto parts stores, thank God, they all still have bulletin boards. And
Yes, Jay.
I always, especially when I get emails, I always ask, "How did you find me?" And I've had quite a few come back. Man, I got your card at the AutoZone or at the O'Reilly's. You'd be amazed. You're already going to the auto parts store, just grab a thumbtack right off the board, pop a couple of cards, and refill them next time. Some of those people I've found are the most loyal. Because they found your card at the auto parts store, but are super, super loyal long term.
Get your QR code, Jay, and talk to Ben. He's got a high resolution printer, and he can put it right on your decals for you.
Absolutely.
Jay, I was putting QR code decals on my real estate signs probably 10 or 12 years ago so that people walking neighborhoods could take their phone, scan the sign, and have everything at their fingertips about the house.
That's smart. That is smart. Buzz,
I
I got a
don't
question.
think any other company's doing it yet. I can't believe nobody's ripped that off.
No, I haven't seen it here either. Buzz, I got a question for you, and
Shoot.
I think you've done a good job of this. Is how important is branding? I mean, you see Roadkill Customs, you see your business card, you see your sign and logo behind you. Like, how noticeable is that for people who see it?
Absolutely key in my mind. I focus, it is arguably one of my greatest focuses. It is one of the reasons I got, involved with the No Name National. I got so excited about it because of the uniqueness of the event and the opportunity to help new channels and share some of the things I've learned over the years. But brand recognition, that's what I'm after. For me, the brand recognition, what it translates into, I've got 2,500 articles, but when you total up all of the specifications and measurements and that kind of stuff, I got 10,000 pages of content on my website. So I do really well on Google. But just because I do really well on Google doesn't mean I'm going to get the click. So what I'm after is people being familiar enough, seeing that logo or hearing that name, so they click on my link as opposed to someone else's. and branding is what makes that happen. Familiarity. In some cases, it's the difference on which of the many many links that shows up in a Google search, for example, which one you're going to actually visit. But branding across the board, in my mind, is key. For me, almost everything starts with a logo. I'm a visual guy.
Mhm.
If I'm building a vehicle, for example, generally speaking, it's got some kind. I name everything also. So everything starts off with a name. It starts off with a logo, and that's how I start thinking about it. But people can relate to that stuff.
I'm reposting the StreamYard link in case there's any of you guys who want to get in here and talk content creation and the nuts and bolts side of getting what you do in your garages to the public. So everything in between. So you guys are welcome to hop in.
But going back to the branding thing, I mean, some of these larger channels, you may not even realize how strong their brand is in your head. Think Vice Grip Garage. Think Whistling Diesel. You know what their logo is. My guess is most people could draw it, without looking back at it again.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's in the YouTube world, it's key, I believe. Relatability also.
Jerry Racing's logo is definitely unmistakable. It doesn't look like anything
Yes.
else.
I think
Kind
your
of UFO looking.
your logo. I don't think you can ever get rid of it now.
Oh,
You
I
can't
got it.
You can't repaint it either.
I was working on a new shirt for J Ray. J Ray's a great sport, man. He loves to have fun.
I know what the theme's going to be.
Mm-hmm. I was just sitting on the couch one night, working on a Red Light Ricky.
There
It's
you
Christmas
go.
tree, and that bottom bulb that you don't see the black outlines, the Google or YouTube play button. Got
Nice.
the red light.
Awesome.
So we're all friends. We like to bag on each other here and there. If I red light, I expect no more from him than to give me a bunch of shit about it. So,
Well, yeah, if you red light, it'll be preserved forever.
I was always told by Jabo I'd cut like 002, 004, and I'd get back into the pits and he'd be mad. I'd be like, "Why are you mad? I just won." He's like, "Dude, you're gonna red light. You're getting way too close to red lighting." He's like, "Just back off a little bit. You don't want to lose right away at the line." So that's always kind of stuck in my head since 16.
You can measure my lights with a sundial. I have no ability to cut a light for anything. For anything. You know what I'm waiting to see, though, not to digress, but you know how cars all have that feature now where you pull up the traffic light and they shut off? I'm waiting to see somebody race something and it shut off while they're staging.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I just haven't seen it yet. It'll happen.
Give me 60 seconds. Be right back.
Somebody's going to be leaving off of idle, and they're going to get up there, they're going to get full staged and come off of idle, and the car's going to stop right at the
Yep.
I just haven't seen it yet, but I know it's coming.
My buddy just bought one of those e-boost Rams. It's like a 2019, 2020, something like that. It's got it's a giant 40 foot-pounds of torque motor on top of your engine, like a supercharger. And that's what it uses to start your engine back up at the stoplights instead of using your starter. So I wonder how much that's going to cost to replace when that takes a dump on you.
A lot.
That's a good question, Big Belly. Wait till Buzz gets back on that. I know
Jabo,
he's
you should-
involved in some logo creation.
Jabo should hop in and give his side of the story about being on a YouTube channel. Of always
Jabo,
having his
you'd be
finger
welcome.
in the lens screen and filming walls and the ground. And
You're welcome, Big Jabo.
you can see his evolution from the beginning. He's taken to it like a fish to water, man. Jabo's great to work with. It's like working with your best friends all the time, having the best day of work ever.
The Bad Tree guys they will elevate your mood. They make the day better. When you're in the shop working with them, it's just a fun time. They create that atmosphere and do a wonderful job of it because it's real. You can't fake that. You can tell they're having a good time with what they're doing.
It's a blast, and the key is to have fun. And I don't think there's an episode where we don't have fun, even if we struggle for 8 hours with an upper control arm bolt. You know, cutting everything out of the nacho. I mean, you're doing it with your best friends. So what's not to like about that? And we're very fortunate to have 3, 4, 5 guys at any time be hanging around helping. There's a lot of channels like Bear Rose, one man band, you know, or John, you're a one man army yourself. You know, I can imagine it can get a little hectic, a little stressful trying to do it all yourself. But I'm very fortunate to have a really long-bearded, long-haired, ponytailed hippie that you can just give a hard time all day, and he just takes it and loves it. And Jay there to teach you along the way, so
Yeah,
it's great.
You gotta love the beard, the ponytail, and the 30-pack, right?
I think that's going to be a new shirt.
Mr.
BTP.
Mr. Will said an 18-wheeler rear-ended his truck. Were you in it, and are you okay? I just thought I would ask that before we go back to Big Belly Racing's question. Big Belly says, I need to find someone who can draw to make my logo.
I got you covered, brother man. Shoot
Big
me
Belly Racing, get in touch with Buzz.
Yeah, roadkillcustoms@gmail.com. Chicken scratch out any kind of ideas you've got, or describe in a couple of sentences what you have in mind, and I'd be happy to draw you something up.
Yeah, don't just go, hey, watch my channel and make me something. You gotta help the guy out with a little bit of input.
But with that input and kind of what you visualize, you know, I don't know if you've seen Redbeard Racing, for example, but one of the descriptions he ended up giving me was a character like you know, you go to the county fair and they got those caricature artists there. He was kind of looking for that feel. You know, give me an idea of what you're looking for. Be happy to help you out. And contrary to what's been said out there over the last couple of weeks, I'll absolutely do it for free. I'd love to see you with a solid logo.
Yeah, if you want to resist fake news in regards to the No Name Nationals or No Name 500, if you want the straight scoop, this channel's the place to get it.
Amen.
And then speaking of channels, Roadkill Customs and Bad Tree Productions are both linked under this video. Not that any of you probably have any trouble finding these guys, but we just have that there should you need it.
Our guy also does kind of the same thing. He doesn't charge a design fee. Most merchandise companies charge a $25 design fee, $50 somewhere in there, which is like, you can get into t-shirts for $0 if you want, if you do it the right way. So there's not a huge expense there, people. You just got to look into it.
Yep.
If anybody else would like to jump in, you're welcome to. And also, I'll just throw this out there. If there's anybody who would like to but doesn't know how to jump in, like what you need to stream from your end, it's not much at all. Pretty much just a laptop will be all you need, or you can do it from your phone. If you don't want to do it this time for whatever reason, but want to try it for the next Content Creator Workshop, just get in contact with me. We can even do a dry run if you want to. Here in the next, sometime in the month of June, we can get together privately. If that's what you want to make sure it works out, we can do that. And then once you've done that and you find out how easy it is and exactly what you need to do, you'll be wanting to live stream and get on other people's streams. And because there's some people that first step's the hardest. And some of these guys I've never seen live.
For those that don't realize, StreamYard does have a free version. The only restriction is the amount of data storage that they afford you on their cloud servers. And the only other restriction is the number of people that you can have involved, and that number is 6.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's full feature, and it is. There's nothing to install. You very simply hit StreamYard.com, put in an email address. They'll email you a login code, and you can get up and running almost immediately. And you can practice. They have a record only option, so you're not streaming it anywhere. But it's also super easy to connect your YouTube channel to it if you'd like to stream. And you can go in there and make a test broadcast and play around and see how your camera looks and see how your audio sounds, and play around with sharing screens and backgrounds and overlays and all that kind of stuff. That's another area if anybody needs some help with things like transparent overlays. If you'd like to have your logo on your StreamYard, for example, I can help you make images transparent, produce you overlays. It's not too, and there's Blake right behind him, changing his background out, for example. If you need help with those kinds of, well, look at there, Liberace's
Fancy.
room.
The HOA is killing me, guys.
All those images, what he's using, those are all the same as a YouTube thumbnail, 1280 by 720. But again, sometimes people can't figure out how to make them transparent. So something looks and feels like it's just kind of floating there. Be happy to help you out. I posted my email address for Big Belly Racing just a little bit ago, still on the current screen in the chat.
And what StreamYard offers for free, I mean, let's be honest, more than 6 people gets pretty damn busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Roger, I'm happy to do that. If you want to set up a little test run sometime this week, we can absolutely do that. And then you can confidently know all your stuff works. And also, that ties to what Barrows is saying. He has just an open mic. Those are what I call the social lives. Okay, several channels have social lives, and Barrows runs a good one, and he has his every Saturday consistently. So that's a good one to jump on.
You can find other channels that you've been palling around with on YouTube the past couple months and do exactly what we're doing here right now, just not going live.
You can.
You can sit backstage and just hang out on these 4 squares and just shoot the breeze, and build your confidence. There's a lot of lurkers out there. There's a lot of lurkers that never even comment, let alone get on the live. So it takes.
It's like your first YouTube videos. It's going to be very awkward, but after you do a few of them, you just get better and better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went back to look at my early YouTube videos. I was so awkward in front of the camera, and then after you do it more and more, it becomes more and more natural. So,
well, the camera is your audience. It's your backing now. It's your full support system. You looked at it before as look at that camera with the red light on, right?
Yep.
And now Turlo's there. Hey, somebody's behind that camera that's watching this. They want to see you succeed. So you get rid of that awkwardness almost,
Yep.
There's 3,000 buddies right here,
Being on camera is exactly the opposite of titling your video. When you're on camera, you're talking to people your friends. When I'm producing a video, I'm talking to Blake, and I'm talking to Buzz, and Just Mopar Joe, and Smacky, and I'm talking right to those guys I know. When I'm titling my video, I'm titling it so that some guy in the back of Bangladesh can find my video. It's just completely the opposite.
Hey, John, can you highlight Mr. Will's most recent question?
I'm sorry, which one was that?
Mr. Will's Dying Breed.
Mr. Will, yes.
He's asking about the algorithm and lives. One thing that you will notice in your analytics, once upon a time it said reach and audience. It now says content. And under that content tab, it breaks it down between most people are seeing this already. If you're not, they're rolling it out over the course of, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. So if you're not seeing this yet, you will see it soon. But they're giving you separate overall analytics by type. So long form videos, lives, shorts, and they're also giving you stats on your post, your community posts.
I didn't see this.
YouTube Studio, You say you can see it, or where do you see it?
So I'm just looking at mine right now. I never noticed this until now, Buzz. My videos get 9,000 views a month. My shorts only get like 2, and my lives get 303.
They
Hey,
So that answers
reason
my
they-
question.
The reason they broke the analytics up is because each of these things, lives, shorts, and long form videos and posts, they're very different animals. So what they've done is they've tweaked the analytics so you can see the measurements. Generally speaking, and this is general, a lot of people are seeing high views on shorts, higher views than they're seeing on their long form videos. And the primary reason for that is the format in which they're delivered. They're delivered in a format that's basically designed to compete with TikTok, and it's a one after the other, after the other, after the other. You know, one plays, the next one plays, the next one plays. People aren't really having to evaluate titles and descriptions and thumbnails. They're just kind of, I've found myself in the shorts rabbit hole where you're like, holy Christ, I just burned 20 minutes, going through 100 different shorts. And that's why the shorts are getting so many views.
Yeah.
But Mr. Will, in my experience, what I've seen is YouTube loves lives. YouTube loves lives simply because it does. It gets people involved and it gets people on YouTube longer. That is YouTube's biggest goal. They want viewers and they want them to view whatever it is they're viewing for as long as possible. And lives, generally speaking, the duration that someone will participate in a live, again, generally speaking, is longer than the duration they'll watch a static long form video for. For example, if you put out a 30-minute long form video, your view time is going to be roughly somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes on average. Again, pretty general, very generalized.
my average retention on lives is between 20 and 25.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, Dizzy, just so you know, I'm nothing to look at. All right. But the thing is that no one is as concerned with what you look like on YouTube as you may be concerned with what you look like. So just don't worry about it. Make your comment and people will just get on board. And I've just never seen that matter to anybody who made content and it did their thing.
I would agree with that 100%. And arguably, Dizzy, certainly don't take this the wrong way, but I would call that an advantage. You get Joe Dapper out there and you're trying to figure out if Joe Dapper's putting on an act. With your stuff, it is so painfully clear that it's just you. There's nobody's having to wonder about if this guy's real. You're so real, and I would think it's an advantage, and look at it that way.
I'll tell you something else too. There are channels on YouTube where, they use really attractive people as props, and even if their content's good, it leaves a cloud on the title to the content. If you don't do that and you're a regular looking guy, then they can't say, well, he gets views for his looks and stuff. No one can take that away from you. This guy's got something.
That is a really interesting point that you bring up, because there are a lot of guys that'll superimpose some super voluptuous hottie in their thumbnail, and she never appears in the video, and people go through the entire video skipping, giving crappy stats back to the algorithm, looking for the hot chick, and they're not going to subscribe when the hot chick's not there. There's better ways to generate clicks than hot chicks. It works. It'll get you that one click. The problem is, generally speaking, you've alienated them, and they're going to bail out and find something else to watch.
Hey, Dizzy, thing is we're telling you the truth. Think about it. How many channels do you follow because of whatever let's just talk about the channels with guys and cars. How many of them do you follow because of what he looks like? And if you're honest, you'll say none, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, as Junk Car Willie says, just keep being Junk Car Willie. has a fantastic attitude, and it has served him so well. He's soared past his 500 subs, and he's got a great attitude. He makes good stuff. He's a good role model.
You know, another good example of somebody who's not necessarily a Fabio, but totally handles it wonderfully and in a very entertaining and memorable way is Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy. You know, look at his name. I mean, you know, he is celebrating what he is, and I would have to say that's a big advantage over a lot of channels that are, you know, so concerned with, you know, doing this bit before the camera goes on type of thing. I mean, it's
when I first met Brian from Dust Devil Garage in Indy, you know, he didn't have a YouTube channel at the time, and he was kind of self-conscious at first about being on camera. And I said, screw him, dude. There's
Right
always
on,
going to be
Thumper.
haters out there, but
Yep.
just do it. Now look at him. He's doing lives every week. You know, he's got over the 500. He's qualified for No Name National or the No Name 500. And I think that's the last thing in his mind anymore.
amen.
So-
You know, it's funny you say that. Like Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy. I remember the first time I saw that name, I thought Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy, very literally. And then you know what? I never thought about what he looks like again. I think he's the guy that homebrews ethanol. He's the guy that does the cool stuff with Pontiacs, and people. That's just how it works.
Johnny Mopar. Now that's a guy that looks good on camera.
That's right. Oh yeah, and can't see your name.
Oh, I'm Snacky.
Garage.
Snacky.
Yes, I'll make sure to minimize that.
Oh, you're good.
I got to ask Dizzy a question quick. I'm sorry, John.
I was just gonna say real quick. Speaking of people who look good on camera, you got to tease Ruben about forgetting his hat. Ruben had some family engagements and forgot his trademark hat. So if you see him in his videos, that's really him. Got quite a mane of hair too, actually.
Ruben
Anyway,
can't. He's
sorry.
got to wear a flat bill. When you went to that hat that was rounded, it put 10 years on you, man.
Yeah.
But Dizzy, I think, yeah, I got to ask a question. Do you hand draw every one of those shirts in Sharpie, or are you having somebody make them? Because that's a pretty cool design. I like the hand drawn Sharpie stuff. So post that in the comments if you could, please. Because if you're making them by hand every damn shirt, props to you, man. That's a lot of work.
No doubt.
And get a hold of me, email me. I'll do a shirt trade with you. I believe you commented that before. So get a hold of me, Dizzy. Let me know what kind of shirt you want.
Mr. Will pretty much nailed it there. Yeah, Tony's not the most attractive guy ever. And he too, he owns who he is. He doesn't give one rat's ass. And it's clear. And that's what makes him so easy to watch.
There is zero pomposity or putting on of airs or glamour with Tony.
You want an expensive way to make your own t-shirts? Try doing your own screen printing and learning how to do it. It took me 4 hours to make this screen with the emulsion stuff and getting the right time and how long to burn it. And I think I had $400 in a couple t-shirts after it was all said and done. That's when I said, I got to get a hold of Schultz Sign Company. They make something better than I can.
Yeah, really, Johnny. Ruben's pretty dashing without that hat and all. Yeah, how about, but you wouldn't recognize him. It's his trademark thing.
I can't believe Ruben hasn't jumped in here to give his.
Yeah,
side of
Ruben,
the,
you're welcome. I've reposted the link. Any of you guys are welcome. You know what? If you just want to try it, you say, I don't know if this will work or not, but I'm sitting behind a lap. Well, give it a whirl. I mean, you know.
I ruined my Johnny Mopar shirt last week, Ruben. I got it all greased up working on the Hemi Ram.
Yeah, I could pin the comment, Renegade. The problem is I don't have a YouTube browser open. And if I open one now, I'll have a big echo before I can get it muted. That's why I don't pin it. But it's there. And yeah, usually I pin it from the start if I know it's one where we're going to do that. But any of you guys are welcome to jump in. Nivlac 57, whether that's Andrew and or Calvin, you guys are welcome if you want to jump in. I know you're traveling and things like that. And also, I don't know which one of you guys it is, but that's a great point. Getting over the sound of my own voice took me a long time. Yes, it
I hate the sound of my voice.
Mm-hmm.
it
So do I.
takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
And I don't care for the sound of my own voice, but when you edit, you've got to. Oh my gosh! Wait a minute, the doorbell's ringing. I didn't see what I just thought I saw, did I? All right, I'll let you know if it comes back. We may have a special guest in the house.
Right on.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, it's a big one too. Come on back. This is a big deal. This is who I think it is.
Hey, Nivlak 57, I totally feel you on the voice thing. Generally speaking, especially when I get excited, my voice goes up and I sound like I'm 11. But I'll tell you from my own standpoint, I never thought about, your voice until you just mentioned it. Because generally speaking, what you're delivering is point on. You clearly know your stuff. So does your father. Don't sweat it, because I don't think most of your viewers out there are sweating it. It sounds like you're over it, but I totally can relate to that. But I think of like a lot of things, just like the camera shyness. You're overthinking it too much, because it never, the sound of your voice never discounted the quality of the information that you're putting out.
I'll say this: the more weight your words carry, the less anyone will care what you sound like.
Oh, the special guest says he's trying.
I'm telling you, I thought I saw for a nanosecond. Come on, man. We'd love to have you in here. Absolutely would love to have you in here.
He's trying. I just
Right
texted
now,
him.
we got another person ringing the doorbell. Big
Big
Mike.
Mike.
Big Mike.
Large
What's
Mike.
happening?
Just got in off of Donald Trump, got done brush hogging.
For those of you who don't know, just so we're clear, that's his earth moving equipment. That's your tractor, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
To get stuff done, apparently.
Yeah.
No, it's not the ultimate blackmail picture. It's his tractor. Unfinished project. If you'd like in here, we would love to have you. If you're not ready yet, I respect that too. If you want to do a dry run sometime, we can do that. But before it's all said and done, I would love to have you on a live. Standing invite.
He came on one of my very first live. He came on and
Really?
I saw his hands and his sewing machine.
Man, I'm so jealous.
I
would love
remember
to have
that
him on
one.
a live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Mopar Nut 62 when he goes in lives. It used to be just the camera pointing straight down at his desk, and
Right.
now you see the guy.
Yes,
He's
he was
gotten
on
over
the
that.
last time.
So you guys were talking about t-shirts, and I'm getting pretty excited, man. I only got, I think, 32 more to 500 or something like that. I mean, I'm getting really close, so I'll be in that area giving away some t-shirts and stuff then too.
Right on.
So
Yeah, you're getting really close. You're 465 last I looked.
I think I was at 468 a few minutes ago.
Okay, well, okay. I haven't looked in the last hour and a half, but I
Yeah.
Guys, you don't need a certain number of subscribers to have a T-shirt.
Oh.
If you just go and make a couple for you and your buddies, that's your brand out there walking around in the world.
For what
Right.
it's worth, Andrew, you sound fine. Those Nelsons are very intelligent, and I think they sound fine. So I don't even know where you get that. For whatever it's worth.
I'll tell you what, the Nivlak 57 video they put up, their last one, that intro was captivating. I mean, it was spot on. I mean, just the way they put it out, it was fantastic.
They do.
Had a name for that
good
hoopty.
stuff.
Well, you see, that's the reason I can't give away any stickers or t-shirts yet, because back when I was only at 150 or something, 175, I said, when I get to my 500 subscribers, I'm going to have a contest, and I'm going to let one person have my very first merchandise, my very first T-shirt, my very first sticker, and they get to name the Coronet. So but I already put it out there, so that's where it's at. You know what I mean?
Unfinished Project, who's really good at winning stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's got the name.
Well, this one isn't exactly going to be trivia. This isn't going to be a contest like the last ones. So I think everybody's going to have a pretty even chance.
Hey, talking subscriber count, because there are very few that are still under 100, but at 100, that's where you can go into Creator Studio and create yourself a custom URL for your channel, something that's easy to type, easy to remember. Those QR codes that I created earlier, those are all based on the actual channel ID, so they'll work regardless. But again, if you're over 100 subscribers, you can go into Creator Studio. I believe it's under customization and then basics, I believe, and create a custom URL. If it's Buck Does It, for example, right now his channel is, that 24 characters, looks like hieroglyphics. You can go in there and pop it in there as Buck Does It. And keep the punctuation out of that stuff when you can.
Buzz, this is a good one. This is a good one to touch on, and you know more about this than I do, and probably a lot of these guys. When you subscribe on YouTube and you see your sub number go up and down, right? Like mysteriously some will disappear and that kind of thing. Can you touch on what is going on with that? Like DRC just subscribed and it took his subscription back, or Torque Racing rather subscribed to DRC. Can you tell us a little bit, because you've touched on that before, how these subs stay permanent and why they might be flighty?
Some of the ones, the most recent talk I've seen about this kind of stuff is, legitimate channels that are liking legitimate channels, and they're finding that they go back to that channel and they're unsubscribed. And my technical answer for that, this is deeply researched. I don't know. I really don't know what is up with those circumstances. Because I have seen that also. Channels that I've interacted with, I go back to that channel. I've liked, I've commented, I've watched their stuff, and all of a sudden I'm unsubscribed.
Yeah.
I do not believe, I am more leaning towards a fluke than something that YouTube is doing. They have no motivation to unsubscribe people, especially if one is interacting with a particular channel.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. But the other thing to understand is it's a big machine that has a shit ton of code behind it. I mean, the code that runs these things, it is absolutely error prone. Some of the fluky stuff you'll see that has occurred on Facebook over the years, despite the amount of money they toss at it, it just baffles me. But it's... yeah, those ones I really don't have a good answer.
We have a guest in the house.
Right on.
No. Oh shoot! I was trying to let our guest in there and disappeared. So if you would pop back, I'll put the link back up. Sorry about that.
Well, hey guys, I wish I could hang out a little longer. I just wanted to drop in and say howdy, y'all. Hadn't seen y'all in a minute,
Right on,
and I got to get a few things done. My boy is going on his field trip for school tonight, and he's got a summer field trip. They're going to Washington D.C., going to go see the monuments and stuff, and the Museum of Natural History and all that stuff. So yeah, he's we got to be there at the go place at 3 a.m. So we got a lot of stuff to get going down. But anyway, I just thought I'd stop in, say howdy, y'all, and just keep after it, man.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Had a guest trying to ring in on the doorbell. I'll go down to let you in, and you click back out. So come on back, and we'll let you in.
Yeah, the guest is having a hard time finding the right spot.
Yeah, that's all right.
Good for you guys.
Take it easy,
Mike.
large
See, Mike.
Hey, back on those subs. one thing that I absolutely believe in also, and easier said than done for sure, but don't sweat the subs. Again, easier said than done, especially if you're part of the No Name 500 and there's the, man, I got to get 500. Use that energy that you were worrying about the subs on in coming up with your next video idea, or coming up, spending an extra few minutes and edit out a little bit of dead air. If you keep chugging and you keep putting content out there, the subs will come. It will happen. Some people, it all depends on what you're putting out. But there is no magic wand. The only thing that is for certain is you've got to keep chugging. And there's no arguing that.
Ken, Bubba, Dizzy, any of you guys are, oh my goodness, there goes the neighborhood. Johnny Mopar in the house. Johnny, I think it's the first time you've ever been on one of my lives, I think.
Is it?
I believe so, because I don't normally do like a social type live. But this one, we're having different creators jump in, so I think so. It's a privilege. Thanks, man.
Oh, yeah, this is awesome. I didn't even realize that I haven't been on one of your lives. And I didn't even really pay attention to your title or anything. I just saw you on when I clicked on.
Yeah.
So.
Glad you're joining us. So the topic is on content creation, and we're just trying to help any channel that wants help improving their videos being found, all in the name of gaining enough subscribers to make 500 subscribers for the Roadkill Customs No Name 500.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
Johnny's a journeyman, man.
Look out.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jeremy?
Jeremy's in the house. This is a big crew here today, but if you guys have any questions, got a great panel to ask them from. So
Who's that guy?
time.
I can tell you,
I
I got a lot of things I've learned and made tons of mistakes. And, I'm not a huge channel. I'm like 1,600 subs or so. I did want to jump on because Buzz was on here, and I've been watching your videos, Buzz, and I wanted to say, I appreciate all the tips you're putting out there, and I'm trying them. It's kind of funny because there's a lot of things that I didn't do that are basics, I guess. And, I heard you talking about them as far as your descriptions, putting, the keywords in there and then writing out what the video is about. I didn't do any of that stuff for the longest time, just blank. All blank, and I feel like I probably left a lot on the table there. I probably could have grown somewhat faster. So, yeah, I think you take it all in, take everything you can get in from everybody and go for it.
I'll put something up real fast. The Nelsons, Nivlac 57 just sent me this. Slow cars don't come in boxes like that going down the road. So I'm telling you, you guys are going to want to turn out.
Yeah,
Nice.
but quick cars drive themselves.
It's true.
I'm
What
just
what
saying.
you got there, Jeremy? You were flashing something there.
Oh, that's the Nacho.
Oh, okay.
Then there's that's a
Fruit
12-second 4-door. Nothing
Good stuff.
special.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we have a 4-door of our own, our 66 Belvedere. Let me see if the camera will show it off. It might be too bright.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Sharp.
Oh,
man.
nice.
That's our club car. She's an ugly duckling. She had a Poly 318 in her, and another YouTuber challenged us to a build off and race. So we pulled the Poly 318 out. We dropped the 383 in the car, and we just got the motor in the car. So we got a few issues. We got some oil leaks, water leaks, and stuff we need to address. But man, we've got some killer burnouts to show you guys with the 383. So I'm excited to show
I
those
love
videos.
burnouts.
I
I
got
love
a
burnouts.
question. I got a
Nobody
question
ever got
for
sick smoking tires.
the special guest down there in the corner. What have you learned in the past 3 years of doing YouTube?
Who you
Who,
asking?
me?
Jeremy, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I have learned that this channel has pushed us to do more and continue on. We would always build stuff. We would always do things. But this channel that me and Blake are involved with has forced us, pushed us to do even more than we ever would have. There's some things we would have never done without this channel. And it's like, oh, come on, guys, help me out. It's like
Motivation.
motivation.
Purpose.
Thank you.
Purpose.
It's exactly what it is. And it doesn't matter. We were jazzed with 50 subscribers and we just kept pushing. And with 50 subscribers, we made a dumb video thanking the 50 heathens that would watch our dumb stuff. But the thing is, though, I mean, literally, and we wouldn't have gotten everyone else involved either, like Tyler and Jay and all the friends that stop over. So, that's what I've learned, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We're always going to do it, but it pushes you, I guess, maybe a little bit more.
It was
What do you
accelerated
think?
rate.
Yes.
This is a good time to do this. So we've got 9 minutes. I try to get off of here at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, because that's when Uncle Tony's Garage is live. And I'll be over there. I encourage you guys to go over there. But I think for some closing thoughts, we got what Jeremy has learned over these years. Why don't we go around the horn going counterclockwise, go from him to Johnny Mopar? Same question. What have you learned, and what would you tell these newer content creators how to build your channel? Go to Johnny, then Smacky, then Bad Tree, then Buzz.
Well, so like kind of what Jeremy was talking about, the beauty of doing the YouTube channel is it does give you more push. I'm doing the same stuff I would have been doing if YouTube didn't even exist, but it gives you this push to try to get more stuff done and put it out in a timely manner. In the past, I might go a whole year not working on a car, and now it's like, well, I got to show something. I got to put something up there on YouTube. And then the other thing I would say, especially to all the guys that are new, just starting out, is that you do not know a lot. So you got to open your mind. And even if you get like negative comments and stuff, make sure you pay attention to it, because sometimes there's clues in there. I've gotten some comments in my past that were like, your volume was way too loud on the music. And when I was editing, I couldn't really hear that. But when I played it back, I was like, oh, wow, it went like, twice as loud. And so I could have took it as a negative comment, but it was a real thing. It was a real problem with my video, and I corrected it since then. So, and when you start off, you think your videos are decent, but I guarantee you, like if you do this for a year and you look back, you're going to go, man, my stuff I did a year ago sucks. And it's hard to see when you're starting off. You think you're doing everything right. You think you're doing everything well, but it's hard to see above you, like what's better and how you can do better. So you just got to stay at it. That's all.
Comment of the day right there. Jeremy, did you discover that too? How about you, Smacky? What have you learned, and you would say for folks just starting, what have you learned so that there's things they can pick up from you and maybe not have to go down some of the same roads you wish you hadn't?
Yeah. So biggest thing for me, audio quality is extremely important. No one really cares what video you have as long as people can somewhat see what's going on, but audio is incredibly important.
Agreed.
One of the things that's really worked for me, it's, as you progress, you always need to, every video, think about one thing you're going to try to improve, whether it's kind of your explanations, whether it's your editing, whether it's your lighting or your filming. Like, try to pick up one thing that you're going to try to improve as you progress down this journey. And like I got to see it, I'm at 933 subs. I'm almost at 1,000. So I started building like 1,000 subscribers special for my channel. And I started looking at my channel, at the beginning, I have Welcome to Smacky's Garage from each different video that I pulled together. And you can completely see how much my process, my explanations, and everything has improved because I've tried to only focus on fixing one thing every video. It's not a race to get there, but slow improvement each video makes a huge difference.
Blake, what say you, sir?
Go to Foot Locker, buy a set of Nikes, and just do it, man. You find a video that pops and what works. Look at that video, what did it, and make bullet points to try to emulate that in your next videos and use that as your standard. So Jay's always talked about a standard where you do an introduction, you welcome the people into the garage, you tell them who you are, and then you explain what you're going to do. Bang that information out right away, get people enticed into it, and try to make your videos kind of submersive. Take a different aspect. If it's audio, work on that for a month. If you want to try some different stuff, work on that another month. Always try to make yourself better. You don't just go out and lay booger welds and get satisfied with that. So every time you're going to weld, you're just going to put bubble gum down, right? You should always want to better yourself. So don't lose the drive. Always stay hungry.
Two quick things here before we get to Buzz's closing thoughts. Unfinished Project is at 198. He has been plugging along and making content. And if you're not subscribed to Unfinished Project, go check out his channel. His channel is easier to find than it was a couple of months ago in just a general YouTube search. But I searched for Unfinished Project Dart Sport, and it will come up. He's done some shorts that got him the placement. So there's that. And I'll post Mr. Will's question, and we'll let Buzz lead off with that, then give us his closing thoughts. Mr. Will's asking, do you feel music can hurt views because people may not like the music?
I personally don't think so. I mean, you got to use some good taste. Like, you don't want to have anything that's really extreme. And I've heard Buzz talk about this with like the terminology. You know, you got to realize who's watching your videos. If it's an older generation watching your stuff, probably don't want to put hip hop in there. You know, I mean, I like all kinds of music. I like hip hop stuff, but I also like, you know, some of the more like bluesy type stuff. And that, I think the bluesy stuff does better with the older generation. And I always don't get crazy with your volumes either. Just kind of keep it, you know, down low, same as people talking. And I always drop the volume when I'm talking and then bump it back up.
Right.
You know,
Don't
there's
let
no
it obscure your audio, your text.
But then always remember, Dr. Dre's like 50 years old, so.
It's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Buzz, do you have
Thank
any
you,
general
Blake. Thank
closing
you.
thoughts?
I'd have to say that the biggest thing I've learned over the years, and I've been goofing off with the internet in one way or another since the early 90s, is don't be an island. I have turned down more help over the years and come to regret it because I always find myself thinking, gosh, I sure did that the hard way. And while I may have learned something with this community and the willingness of people to help and guide you, don't be bashful. Reach out, take some help, get involved in some of these lives. Use the resources that are in front of you. You know, for a long time, again, I went the long way around the block just because it was the way I knew and the way I was familiar with. When there was a dude that says, "Dude, you take a left right there, and you'll be there in 30 seconds." You know, that is, you know, ponied up right next to you know what Blake said is just do it. I was going to also say something along those lines. Just put stuff out there. The video quality and all of the special effects and all the razzle dazzle, don't get too caught up in that stuff.
Yeah.
Put your stuff out there. Remember to tell YouTube what it's about. Year, make, model, what you're working on. Oil pump, radiator, suspension, whatever. But just keep putting stuff out there and watch how people respond to it. Are you getting likes? Are you getting comments? What are the comments? Look at your own stuff and look at how people are reacting to it and learn from that stuff. And just like Steve said, every single video, pick one thing, improve it, and over time you'll get where you need to be. I popped my my contact info in the chat. Anybody that wants help writing their channel description or writing a video title, or if they want, hey, what do you think about this video title? Shoot me an email. You can hit that link. There's a form to fill out that'll send me a message, or roadkillcustoms@gmail.com. Any of you guys that aren't, writers, so to speak, be happy to help you out. And again, contrary to what's been said elsewhere recently, it won't cost you a nickel. I'm in a position.
We don't do fake news here.
Yeah.
Buzz is here to help.
I'm in a position to where I genuinely want to help you guys out. And that relationship, as far as I'm concerned, especially these No Name 500 guys, generally speaking, we're becoming, friends. And that's a good thing. Don't think that when the event's over, I'm disappearing. If I want to continue to help you grow. My stuff is essentially handled. I'm in a unique situation where I don't have a lot to worry about right now. And that's why I feel like I'm super fortunate being able to be in a position where I can take time, help people out, and share the wealth, so to speak.
We all appreciate it, Buzz.
Guys,
pleasure, man.
we chose to
Yeah,
get
dude, that's
involved
awesome.
with Buzz because of who he is. I mean, he's not fulfilling any contractual duty to help you guys. He's doing it because he wants to make you successful, and we're all going to be more successful together. And people like that just don't come around every day. And he's doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Well, John, that's just like we've done very, very little for not many, but we always want to help people too. I mean, whether it be on YouTube or off YouTube.
Yep.
That's kind of what we do.
That is very
make
true.
someone grow, whether or not you can't see it anymore, but my neighbor across the street, he built a 39-foot rafters, and that's half the rafter for we're gonna with the crane on Thursday, and we're just doing it just to do it. So
We'll
I mean,
probably
yeah,
film a
just to
little
help
bit.
someone is to help someone. That's the key to it.
And that's what I'm
Oh,
noticing
yeah.
with our community. Our community, these guys are, in my experience, they're all good quality of character people off camera. And the friends I've made on YouTube are the same people, whether there's a camera on them or not. People generally can't fake that very well for very long. The Bad Tree guys are great people on and off camera. And so that's the people I
Thank you,
want to be
John.
associated with. But that said, we're just past 7 Central, 8 Eastern, so we need to shut down this one. We should have another content creator workshop coming up in
All right.
about a month. Should be right around the first part of July. And hopefully this has been productive. If you have more topics that you want to see brought up or more questions, feel free at any time to send them to us, and we can bring them up at the beginning of the next content creator workshop or sooner as needed. I do want to thank our mods, Unity Motorsports Garage, Blake from Bad Tree Productions, Just Mopar, Joe Fubar, the Axe, and Buzz. Buzz now has an axe too, but he's been using it for noble purposes like posting links so far. But don't test him. I want to bring up too. This Wednesday there is a special Uncle Tony's Garage Wednesday night tech live with he and Dallas. This Wednesday it'll be he, Dallas, the Junkyard Jet guys, and Mopar Al and I, and we're going to be reviewing No Name 500 channels. If you need to have posted content in the last month, and I'm going to try to pick out some of your best stuff. So if you want it reviewed in front of a big audience, that's the time to go ahead and get it up soon. Okay.
This is a magical
Yeah,
opportunity.
It
make
is.
something good. Make something proud worth showing, guys.
Between all of us, we have around 300,000 subscribers, and that's a pretty big audience that may say,
Dang.
wow, like Irish Outlaw Garage. Look at the stuff in that guy's driveway, like that 68 Pontiac he has. I mean, this is a chance to get a lot of cool stuff seen by more people. Also, on June the 10th, I'm going to have Country Boy Gas Garage, Jason. He is the guy who pulled the 48 Ford church bus out of the woods, drove it out of the woods, and he is going to have a reunion of the bus with the church that used to own it on June the 18th. But we're going to have him live the week before. So that's a good opportunity to ask him questions about that. And it's a good cause. They're going to have a good event there. And he's a really cool guy. I don't think he's ever been on anyone else's live ever before. So it's a rare opportunity to get him on a live. And then we have more things scheduled throughout the month of June, but that's what's closest. So thank you guys all for participating in the chat and on screen, and we'll see you all again soon.
I will figure it out better. I'm out my driveway. It's raining. I gotta go.
Beer clouds are chasing them indoors.
Later, all.
Yeah.